So yesterday I've been trying to go through like my back catalog of games.
Yeah, you're always doing that.
And it's so first world problem, but it's so annoying because I have the setting on to update everything, but it's never updated. So that's why I'm not playing. So I'm like, hey, I'll play Mad Max again.
Yeah.
Load it up and it's like updating because it's 5 years old, 4 hours. I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking play that then. But we put on Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is that the build a park simulator.
Yeah.
And I was just like fucking around with it. But then at some point I realized that Fallon's sitting next to me and she's like watching and I'm like, oh, do you want to help me like build a park? And she's like, yeah. So we built a park and you can like modify the dinosaurs and, you customize their coloring and all this kind of stuff. But all the, you can like breed 2 at a time. So I would pick one and she would pick one. And my dinosaurs just started destroying her dinosaurs. And she was getting really sad because she's like, oh, it's so cute. We were naming them like Barry. And she's like, oh, they're so cute. And then the little ones from the second one that attacked the girl, like the teeny tiny little raptors.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, but my velociraptors ate those. But she's like, that woman, she's like, well, why are all your dinosaurs such dicks? It was just really fun to watch her dinosaurs get eaten. And it was awesome. And I was hysterically laughing and being the total dickhead about it. And I was like, I think I'm just picking the better dinosaurs because mine are winning.
I mean,
right? Like,
when you go into the world of, dinosaurs and all that, you got to think about Darwin and, survival of the fittest. And Darwin says you die.
well, the T-Rex got angry and broke out. She's like, what did she say? She's like, what's the point of these fences that they just break out? I'm like, have you ever seen these movies?
Yeah,
it's the premise of the movie.
That's the point of the game in a weird way.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, we want to try to keep them in, but the point of the game is like they're gonna break out for you to try to get them back in.
Yeah, like every movie they break out. Like that's the point of the movie.
You think by this sixth one, I can't believe there's 6 when you think about this. It's like every single time that they do it, something awry happens.
Yeah, I mean,
humans don't fucking learn.
I think my favorite quote in that series is when
Jeff Goldblum.
No, it's like in the first of the new trilogy,
okay,
Jurassic World, and Dr. whatever his name is, Dr. Wu, I can't remember what his name is talking to like the new Hammond and is like basically like, you wanted me to make like a big scary lizard and you're surprised that a big scary lizard came out. He's kind of like, you wanted it to be a aggressive predator and you're surprised that it's an aggressive predator. It's like called itself out on its logic and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Do you think they're going to keep doing this? They're probably going to beat that to death, aren't they?
I mean, at this point, every franchise is just going to kind of get beaten to death. I just saw the other day that there's a script in the makes to reboot the Terminator franchise.
Oh, God, I saw that too. Yeah, Cameron said that. I was like, no. Knock it off. I think we'll slap him on the hand. Like, no. Don't do that.
Stop it.
Anyways, this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Let's do this.
I don't know the song. It's like with the song "I'll Long Sing" or whatever, the New Year's song.
Having a stroke. What are you talking about? the New Year. I think
the New Year's song.
Oh, I think meant like the song in the movie. I'm like, which? I don't know.
The Pink song at the end that gets stuck in my head.
Yeah, I love Pink.
Which I know what she's saying is "Come on and," but I always hear "Come on me," and I'm like, Kind of puts a different.
I mean, if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, Pink, come on.
It's kind of aggressive.
But if you're asking me to, it's more of a demand. But
I do love Pink.
Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm coming now, so you better get this body started.
If we ever get monetized, we're not gonna be able to sing any of this stuff.
I know.
Which
are we gonna have to go back and just bleep it all?
Well, we'll just see what happens.
We'll cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Speaking of New Year's, we are reviewing The movie New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's.
And Happy New Year's. Yeah, I guess this is the day before New Year's. Yeah, this is going to be, the release is the day before New Year's Eve, technically.
Okay.
But I mean,
New Year's Eve.
it's the weekend, man, of New Year's Eve.
What New Year resolution do you not plan on?
Oh,
succeeding?
I was wondering if we were going to get into this. I don't know. I don't really make New Year's resolutions.
People don't change.
I mean, people do change. You have to believe.
New Year's magic.
I don't know. Like, if anything, it's like I'm keeping up with my goal on, saving up to get a vehicle. So, I'll just keep up with that. Not buying a PlayStation 5 until I have a vehical.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change my diet. Like I was
Yeah, that's
saying
what you were
earlier.
saying,
I think I need to kind of trim it down.
Need to eat more vegetables.
I eat vegetables.
More vegetables.
I eat a lot of broccoli.
Yeah, so do I.
I like broccoli.
Anywho, New Year's Eve. This movie came out December 9th of 2011.
Yes, it did.
Box office wise, did relatively average.
Yeah. I mean,
It's it's IMDb. Its ratings are really funny.
I mean, it grossed like 142 million. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a big studio-driven film. Yeah.
Yeah. Its IMDb rating is a 5.6, which is fair. Its Rotten Tomatoes score
What is it?
is a 7% tomato meter. I was like, that's the lowest I've seen.
Rotten Tomatoes is brutal.
I was like, wow. And then audience score was 45.
Yeah. Oh. We follow the lives of a bunch of people and the ups and downs in a chaotic New Year's Eve in New York City.
Yeah.
That's the premise. And there's 8 million people in this movie.
Yeah, this movie actually it has 8 separate storylines.
Yeah, it's
technically going on.
If you've been listening to us, it's kind of like when we did what's it called? The New Year's Eve movie. What was that called?
4 Rooms?
Yeah.
But 4 Rooms was separated into 4 separate segments, while this is more of like an ensemble cast like Love Actually, where the storylines just kind of like they cross over a little bit and intermingle. This is apparently part of like a non-existent trilogy for Garry Marshall.
And I realize I've seen them all.
I haven't seen Valentine's. I actually have. This is the first one I've seen all of. Yeah, I haven't seen Valentine's Day or Mother's Day.
Yeah, so there's Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and then New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Really quick, we did 2011 for 50-50, but did you get a different number?
I got 40 instead of 41.
I kept it around like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I even recounted.
We need to actually just like make this spreadsheet, and then like if we know that we haven't, just don't worry about counting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's. Hey, there's a New Year's resolution for us.
No, but then because you want to update it because even then it's like you might have watched another movie from 2011.
That's fair.
And that but in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So we should just keep doing that. Well, we need to make the spreadsheet so we know who wins.
Yeah.
We need to like go through and count them all who wins the season. Because that's the game for us. It's not really, they don't care. Oh, shit.
Way to go.
Yeah, they don't.
Throwing everything around. Last week it was your chapstick.
They don't give a shit how many movies we've seen.
That's fair. All right, well, let's get into writer, director, and all that stuff.
Sure.
And then we'll get into the starring.
So directed by Garry Marshall, who fortunately passed away in 2016. Some movies known for like Overboard, Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, The Princess Diaries, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. Very easily digestible stuff.
I mean, some well recognized, like Pretty Woman. The one that I thought was kind of like the outlier of them all was The Other Sister.
What's that?
Giovanni Ribisi.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that one.
That's a wonderful. That's
a
sweet movie. It's a drama, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say that it's sad because they do end up like with a happy ending.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize how much of this was like rom-com.
Oh yeah,
it's such a rom-com, which we don't really do rom-coms.
Not really, no. I mean, it's generally around this time of the year that we're doing the rom-coms.
It's true. With like the holiday.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Garry Marshall, he's also like he's acted a little bit around, and
I recognize
he's a very recognizable kind of guy. But it's generally in these style of films, just kind of like easily digestible.
Yeah, like
stuff.
They're just kind of sweet and simple.
And then so this was written by Katherine Fugate, who also wrote Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, who I'm assuming with Garry Marshall. And then a movie called The Prince and Me that looked familiar.
Yeah. Isn't that like
Julia Stiles?
Yeah.
And I have no idea who else.
Julia Stiles, man, I forgot about her.
Yeah, right. And then she created the show Army Wives.
Yeah.
Did you go down that rabbit hole?
A little bit, yeah.
It looks like something Fallon would watch.
I know it. I was looking at it like I've seen this, and I don't know why. But yeah, maybe Fallon. I meant to ask her, but I forgot to.
Fair. And starring. So like we said, this movie has 8 storylines, technically, segments that you're following. So what the number that I wrote down, and as I was watching the movie, I was like, I missed even like a couple. They said some that were just uncredited as well. But I have 23 actors listed.
Well, and it was like weird too. Like if it was going through the list, and I was like, Common or like, oh, Alyssa Milano's in this, and she's in the movie for You're like, why even?
I mean, it makes me wonder, especially with Alyssa Milano, if maybe there was more of a story with her in the maternity ward or with anything, and that was just cut out.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's fair. I mean,
because this movie is an hour and 48 minutes.
It's long.
Yeah,
it's really long.
And it's like it strangely drags, but doesn't. Like
there are moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of be a dick here. The editing was terrible.
Yeah, because it eventually just kind of like, especially with John Bon Jovi, like it just turned into like random, like, oh, now it's just a concert thing.
Well, not even that, just like actual technical, like jacket on, then suddenly not on, or holding something, then suddenly.
Oh, I didn't really
not.
notice any consistencies like that.
There was a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I caught like in the first 15 minutes, I caught like 3, and then I just my brain tuned into it, and I was like, man,
rough.
They're not editing this at all well.
But that strangely might go into just kind of like Garry Marshall, an older mindset type of guy, where like a lot of inconsistencies like that in the 80s and 90s would happen, and audiences didn't really catch on to them as often, you know. So I'm just gonna really quick list off 23 actors' names. And
I only wrote down 15. I don't know where your other 10 are coming from.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Check.
Zac Efron. Robert De Niro. Halle Berry. Carrie Elwes. Alyssa Milano. Common. Jessica Biel. Seth Meyers. Sarah Paulson. Carla Gugino. Katherine Heigl. John Bon Jovi. Sofia Vergara. Ashton Kutcher. Leah Michele. Jim Belushi. Sarah Jessica Parker, Abigail Breslin, Josh Duhamel, Hilary Swank, Ludacris, and Ryan Seacrest. And now, see, in some of these characters, some of these actors that I named, they're like in it for a hot second. But I wasn't sure when I was making my list before I saw the movie, so I was like, blah.
I watched it and then wrote down. I was like, okay, let's watch this and see who are the most important.
Yeah, I should have done that because like there's also like uncredited Matthew Broderick, quick little role.
Oh yeah,
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Those are only 2 that are coming off the top of my head for that. But then I also like the father or the guy that's having the kid in the maternity ward that is with Sarah Paulson. Yeah. I didn't write his name down because I didn't recognize him actually until I saw him in the movie and I was like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of people.
Did you cry?
Robert De Niro's story,
I knew it.
like kind of got me. I didn't cry, but like
it got me.
Yeah, no, that's like that was like the only one that I was like.
That was the only one I cared about.
Yeah,
I called it though. I knew that Hilary Swank was the daughter.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I took the bait and swerve of thinking it was she and Josh Duhamel's character were the ones that were supposed to be meeting.
No, yeah, I called that.
But as soon as like that didn't happen, I was like, oh, then it's definitely Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, within like the first like meeting Hilary Swank, I was like, this is Robert De Niro's kid, and I don't know. I had a gut feeling.
Have you seen the movie before?
That was like, good job.
That's really interesting. Yeah, because like literally like how she keeps saying like the promise that she made, you know, and then like Josh Duhamel.
It was good. It was a good.
That was like the only like I was like, oh,
it was a good curveball.
Yeah. And I actually kind of wrote a little bit about that. Let's get into your reviews. Because honestly, guys, I don't know how long this episode's going to last today. I think, honestly, what I kind of want to focus on more is the construct of writing a movie like this.
Sure.
You know?
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see where we go.
Yeah. So 1 positive, 9 mixed, 20 negative.
I'm surprised that there was a positive. I was expecting there to be like a bunch of mixed and a bunch of negative. But I'm happy you found a positive one because I want to hear a positive one.
Okay, well even
What? Yeah.
67 out of 100.
How is that even positive?
Because it didn't drop down below 60. Owen Glimmerman at Entertainment. New Year's Eve is dunderheaded kitsch, but it's the kind of marzipan movie that can sweetly soak up a holiday evening.
Yes. That's actually very accurate.
I can't imagine, especially with all the negatives. I'm like, what were you going into?
Yeah.
To rip this apart? Like, you know what I mean? Because also, just in general, all these ensemble movies are weird. Even Love Actually is weird. Mm-hmm. It's really good, but it's like weird. Like, what's his name? Rick.
Oh, Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah, Andrew Lincoln showing up at Keira Knightley's. That scene. It's like, oh, it's
just
so
tell
sweet.
him
It's so weird.
And also her like then going out and giving him a kiss. It's like
so weird.
What?
It's so weird. It's like, this is such a weird scene, and it's like you know what it is? Like Lips of an Angel. Like that fucking song is like, oh, he's in love with her. It's like, yeah, poor girlfriend on the other side though.
Like, no, he's
cheating.
He's cheating on his girlfriend with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. It's like, so yeah, these ensemble movies are just always really weird. So it's like, yeah, you need to know that going in. Because it's a marzipan. There's so many different story arcs. It's like there's, you want to make it as human as possible. So there's like cheating and infidelity and love, so I don't know, but we'll get back into it. The mixed 50 out of 100, Connie Ogle at Miami Herald. New Year's Eve is not unbearable. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It delivers exactly what you expect. Pretty faces, shallow romance, and a mythical fantasticism about an event in a friendly neighborhood, Manhattan, unblemished by hypervigilant security measures, obnoxious drunks, or New York Jet fans. I loved that. About how not real New York feels.
Yeah, and how romanticized the idea of Manhattan.
Christmas, winter in New York. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's such a huge thing with movies like this. Mm-hmm. Is that's like New York is a character in the
it's a living. It's it's not just a set. It's a entity.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy. Yeah, it's so cringy. It's like the nutcrackers and the lights and like
the when the ball like stops and everyone boo.
Yeah,
it's like I'm pretty everyone would be like, oh fuck,
that sucks.
Huh.
What are we gonna do now?
I'll take another shot.
Yeah, like okay, and then the negative 25 out of 100, Wesley Morris at Boston Globe. New Year's Eve is fun in the way that eating at a buffet is fun. It's 2 hours of foods that have nothing to do with each other, piled high on a plate because it was too cheap to resist. There were some good ones today.
That's good.
I had a hard time picking that, but I was like, that's what it is. It is a buffet.
Well, it's like, what did I write? I have every segment is filled with stereotypical characters and cliched stories. There are a few twists and a clever mislead, but ultimately is a rather generic feel-good story about new beginnings and or fresh starts.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's really what this is. It's like, it's literally, that's what movies like this are meant to be, though, is just comfort food.
Yeah, they're meant to be 2 hours of warm, nice feelings, and then you move on with your life. Like,
it's like, you want to see that kind of like curmudgeon-y character kind of get their spirits lifted by the pretty man or the pretty girl type thing, so it's like if we're feeling down we can be like, oh yeah, I could feel that way too, well,
yeah, because with these movies too there's always like the heartbreak, like so you had De Niro's character who's dying and that whole thing.
Well, here really quick, let's I'm gonna pull up my IMDb and let's talk like quickly just bring out what each segment is and what the cliched story is in it.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I like that game.
Okay, so there's the first one on here is the Resolution Tour with Michelle Pfeiffer and Zac Efron.
Yeah, which actually I did like that. I thought that was cute.
One was cute.
That was a cute little bonding thing.
Yeah, it's definitely got like this is more of like cliched characters that. So, I guess also one thing I kind of want to. I thought about how would someone write a movie like this, and I kind of realized the easiest way to do something like this, it would be to write like 8-10-minute short films.
I was gonna say write an episode of a sitcom,
something like that. Yeah, but like everything needs to be like 10 minutes long, no longer. And then
you like if you were to take all the scenes and put them together, we have 10 minutes of this situation.
So that's 80 minutes right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with that 80 minutes, then you just find ways to be like, okay, well, this person is like, let's say they're roommates with this person.
So then, so you create the characters and then create the
and
connection.
Then you map it all out, and then you fill it in.
Yeah, you're Charlie Day from the poster.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like, I feel like that'd be the easiest way to kind of do this because, like, especially how each of these stories are very unique stories of their own.
But that also gives it this superficial feeling,
exactly,
because you're like, okay, we'll make Zac Efron roommates with Ashton Kutcher.
Yes,
it's a very just loose line,
and then he's also then like the brother to Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
You know, so like
it just feels
cheap. It starts to feel kind of forced on you a little bit, but then. It gets it to where how the movie can have some type of through line together, you know, like how it
so
is.
It doesn't feel episodic anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't feel episodic. Then it feels interconnected, you know? So yeah, you got Michelle Pfeiffer and Zac Efron, which these I feel like are in,
Karen and Chad.
Yeah. No, they are, it's literally, it's a cliched characters, conflicting characters forced on a journey together.
Yeah.
No, not really forced on a journey together. Like
it's a business transaction.
Yeah. And Michelle Pfeiffer, the quirky, quiet older woman who wants to break out of her shell, and he's the go-to messenger bro, like charismatic guy,
horn dog. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that one was kind of cute. And then let's see.
Well, yeah, like the whole premise is that she wants to do all her New Year's resolutions, but there's crazy ones like going to Bali and this. And
yeah,
that.
No, they're completely unreasonable type thing. Oh yeah, and like the whole thing is like she will give him tickets that she received
to the gala
to like the party of the year. That he wants to go, the masquerade thing. So yeah, it's a business transaction.
Yeah, but it's really so he takes her like she wants to go to all the boroughs of New York.
Yeah.
So he takes her to this like art gallery that's a big map of New York City that you can like
because they have like less than 12 hours to get this crazy like list done.
Yeah, and it was cute.
And one of them's like to be amazed, you know. And,
yeah.
You know, they kiss at midnight, which I like. I liked her reaction to that. She's like, "What is wrong with you? I am twice your age." And he's like, "You wanted a kiss at midnight."
Yeah, and I gave you that.
Yeah, there you go. Midnight. You know, he's like, this is just platonic.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get in your pants, lady.
Yeah. But that was cute.
And then the hospital story, which this is the sad one. Robert De Niro, who is an old man who has pushed everyone away, who is essentially going to die in the next 24 hours.
Yeah. But he's not doing chemo. He's accepted that he's going to die.
And then maternity ward, which is kind of more of our comedic relief one in a different way. It's Seth Meyers and Jessica Biel are having a kid. Apparently, there's like the first kid born in the new year. Like the family is going to receive a $25,000 cash prize. Is
that
something.
Real?
I don't fucking know.
New Yorkers, is that real?
Yeah,
that's weird.
It's very strange. But yeah, I don't. Well, I know it's a thing where it's like the first kid born in the new year gets in the paper type thing. Yeah,
but
maybe that's part of it. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
But then there's Sarah Paulson and Till Schweiger, who they're also pregnant, and so like that's kind of like a race to who can have the kid first type thing. But then it gets kind of like warm-hearted when like you find out that Sarah Paulson and Till Schweiger already have a family, and like they could actually use the cash, while Seth Meyers and Jessica Biel, it's their first kid, and they're well off.
Yeah,
and like they don't need the money type thing. So it gets kind of cutie. And let's see here. What is this one? Jensen and Laura's story. Oh, yeah.
The worst one.
Katherine Heigl and John Bon Jovi. It was
horrible.
It was so bad.
It was the worst one. I think it was the worst one. I think the Robert De Niro one was the best one, and this one was just terrible.
Yeah. Essentially, like John Bon Jovi, he chose to be the rock star
instead of
the quiet life with her.
And it really pissed me off that he was like a character. He was Jensen. He wasn't
just John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I'm like, just make him John Bon Jovi. Like, why do the
well, because they have to make him a character because John Bon Jovi actually has a wife and a life.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That's true. He's not a very good actor.
No, he's pretty stale.
He's stiff.
He's like, I think his biggest role.
He has a lot.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot. Like Ally McBeal, he was a character on for a while.
He was in Young Guns.
Yeah,
which I don't remember him in Young, but he's also probably really young, so I probably.
There's also Sofia Vergara at some of her best comedic, though. I would say
she's funny.
She is so fucking
funny.
I love her. She's so great. Lady. Yeah. I guess like what's the story? Yeah,
just
Katherine Heigl
and Bon Jovi have no chemistry, but you're supposed to believe that they're like ex-lovers.
Oh no, and how she's just like slowly like starting to fall back in love with him because
of his boyish charm. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, but like there was like when you get that moment where like she got the job because he's like recommending, he's like, I won't do this unless you hire this person. That right there, I think is kind of like, I was like, I'm kind of torn where it's kind of like, he's like, well, like it's kind of this like writing in where it's like, it shows like, oh, well, she can't get the job without the help of this man. But
like, but I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying.
But also in like in a romantic way,
it's a sweet gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, because he is trying to prove to her that but also like, why is she being so like stiff about? It's like, he's a successful rock star. What did you expect? He's gonna live on the road for half the year. Come on.
Well, that's because he took off without saying anything.
I mean, that's true too.
That's fucking rude.
Yeah.
But
what I gathered from is like he took off without saying anything because she was putting pressure on him to not tour anymore. And he's like, but that's my job.
Yeah.
It's like, that'd be like me saying, hey, don't go and cater over there. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. I've heard that Katherine Heigl's really hard to work with.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've heard that she's like really.
I think once she like found her groove on Grey's Anatomy, that's where she stayed because she just meshed well with people there.
I've heard that. Like Fallon's a huge fan. I've heard there was a lot of drama with her.
Interesting. Yeah. Well,
she's like, what's her butt from Charmed? She was also the sister they got rid of and then brought back. Prue, or I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up. Like I know anything about Charmed. Sorry.
Rose McGowan? No,
not her. Because Rose McGowan dated
Marilyn Manson,
right?
Yeah,
no, not her.
Okay.
With the see-through dress, that one?
Yeah. So the next one on our list here is Elevator, which is the most cliched one.
It's brutal.
It is the most cliched story out of all of these. It's really what this movie was kind of like promoted around, I want to say. Oh, we forgot to watch a trailer. Oh well.
Oh, yeah, we really got to start doing that again.
Yeah. Starring Ashton Kutcher and Lea Michele, and Ashton Kutcher is the New Year's Eve sucks,
which is like such a weird stand to take. Like I get not caring about New Year's Eve, but to actively hate it, it's so weird. I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't love New Year's. I don't fucking care.
He's like, it's like time is a construct, man. Like, I mean, like it's the same time as it is now, and it will be then. Like, nothing actually changes. Like, there's no magic behind it.
It is weird.
It's like, yeah, well, he's not wrong, but also like,
who cares,
dude?
Yeah, who cares? People like it.
Yeah,
people have fun. You know what I mean?
Why are you gatekeeping this holiday? Just like fucking
like shut the fuck up. Like if he was my friend, I'd be like, "Can you fucking chill out?"
It's like I'm not inviting you to the party now because you're an asshole.
You're an asshole. You're gonna bring everyone down. I don't want to invite you. It's just such a weird like writing take, and I'm sure someone out there just like feels that way about.
Oh yeah,
and that's your opinion, but I just think I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand.
And Lea Michele's character, she's running late for an important date.
Yeah.
And then of course they within the hours that they're stuck in there for like 8 hours.
Yeah, they get stuck in an elevator and then they fall in love.
Because she sings.
What happened to Ashton Kutcher?
Well, let's see. He just did the Ranch on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And I think he's going to be doing a cameo in that 90s show coming up. Might be a producer on
show?
It. Yeah, they're doing a sequel to that 70s show.
Oh, sick!
It's going to be short-lived, I want to say.
Like a limited series or
yeah.
I'm kind of
because
interested in
it's
that. Is it all of them and like their kids?
It's Leia Foreman going to visit the grandparents over the summer in Wisconsin and meeting becoming friends with the new like crew of
like a new
teenagers,
like a new Fez and a new
yeah
okay, interesting,
that type of thing. Set in the 90s. So
cool. So,
yeah,
that'll be fun.
And it's actually, strangely enough, as it's premiering, it is almost like the exact separation of years from when that 70s show aired to in the 90s. So like 20 plus years or so like separated. Now we're like, yeah.
I mean, I just want to watch it for like a heavy dose of nostalgia.
Yeah.
On like shit that we like grew up with, you know?
Yeah.
That's why
I think it's going to be on Netflix if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Elevator, cliched story, cliched characters. Mother and daughter, which was kind of,
I enjoyed that
it
one.
felt like a really forced story, like rip off of the Love Actually, with Liam Neeson and the stepson.
Oh God, you're so right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Totally.
But instead, it's more of like, like in that one, Liam Neeson is like coaching the kid how to like, you know, be suave and you get the girl's attention.
And, yeah.
As opposed to this is Abigail Breslin and Sarah Jessica Parker. And
I liked them together.
Yeah, they were actually pretty good together.
I liked their energy.
When this isn't a training bra, Bob. I was like, whoa! God damn.
Well, yeah, because she's
like, this isn't Girls Gone Wild. You're 15. Put down your shirt.
Well, yeah, but it's also like the mom's like totally in the right, and it's like, yeah, it's New York City. You're 15. I'm not gonna let you wander around New York City unsupervised.
Yeah,
with your friends, like. No.
Well, how about she make it's like, okay, do you mind if I join you?
Yeah. I mean, like, well, it's fine, but I'm gonna go with you.
There is like a thing that sometimes happens with these like parent child storylines where the parent is overtly being strict, and they're kind of. It's this thing where it's like they're forgetting about what it was like when they were their age, and you know, it's like, yeah, your kid has like a crush on this boy. Like, and she's 15. It's going to be okay if she kisses him at New Year's, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how strict their parent is a parent, but like, you know, it's like, okay, well, obviously it's like if your plan was to spend the New Year's with your daughter alone, and now your daughter's like, can we do this? Can I do this? Be like, well, I want to spend it with you. Do you mind if I chaperone?
Yeah. I'll hang out from the back. You won't even know me.
Yeah. As opposed to like, but then there's the creepy mom that's like
stalking them.
So they already have chaperone.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Because she doesn't like that mom.
Yeah.
She thinks she's crazy. So she's like,
they all think no, that mom is crazy.
Yeah, but like she's not comfortable with the crazy lady chaperoning. So, you know, like, but yeah, that's so funny. The boy Liam Neeson thing.
Yeah.
Is really funny.
I mean, they're very different, but I feel like it was
like in the same vein.
Yeah, because it's like it's kind of like we need to have some young kid in their turmoil as well.
Yeah, because you're just checking off boxes with this movie.
Where are we at here? A Hearn party, which is more just like Josh Duhamel and his rush to get to the party so then he can meet the girl that he saw at New Year's the year previous.
Yeah, like his storyline is like one of the ones that could have been like its own movie.
Yeah, all of these could have been their own movie in its own right. Like,
I think some of them are too like the Sarah Jessica Parker one. That one's really superficial, so it wouldn't be interesting. But Josh's is a hijinks movie.
You could, but like thinking like, okay, so like the mother and daughter one, yes, superficial, like right now at face value, but. Remember the movie Blockers with John Cena?
Oh, yeah.
Turn it into something like that.
I see what you're saying.
You know, like these are all beginning like buds for something that could become its own. But that's why it sits in these like 10-minute bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, so it can fit into a movie like this, which is why they all feel kind of shallow and empty a little bit too.
Because you literally don't really have the time to get invested in characters.
Exactly.
You don't get to meet them.
Yeah. And the only reason I feel like you and I felt anything with the Robert De Niro story, one is because it's actually very sad, and two, Robert De Niro's acting is beyond good for this movie.
Yeah, it's like too good. Like, what are you doing here, bro?
Like Robert De Niro is just like,
they made him look terrible.
Yeah, I was just like he this is almost an Oscar-worthy performance in a fucking garbage movie.
Yeah, it's like, well, but it's also that, that the psychological thing. It's, comedy, suddenly something sad. Now your walls are down, so it hits you that much harder. Because it's like, you're like, it's like, it comes out of left field.
Oh, we've got to bring up also like the hospital story. That's also Halle Berry, who she's the nurse that's looking after him, and she's waiting for New Year's. Like what?
I always forget how fucking gorgeous she is.
She's beautiful. Yeah.
She's goddamn gorgeous.
And she's like almost 60.
Yeah. And she's still gorgeous.
I know.
God damn.
And yeah, she's dating Common, who is like stationed in Iraq or something, somewhere in the Middle East.
Swordfish.
Yeah. Yeah. Monsters Ball. Think about that one now.
Oh, yeah.
God, we're fucking pervs.
What? Swordfish is a good movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly why you're bringing up Swordfish.
Because it's good.
All right, anywho.
That's actually it is a good movie, actually. It's fun.
The fucking hacking. I can't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can we not? Okay, we need to let's focus here. Okay. Hern Party with Josh Duhamel. Apparently, his parents, they're kind of running. His family is putting on this gala that Katherine Heigl is catering. So you see how things are starting to tie in here together. And then John Bon Jovi is playing
at the gala.
Jensen is playing at the gala. Leah Michelle is supposed to be the backup singer for John Bon Jovi. Ashton Kutcher is roommates with Zach. I almost said Zach Morris. Zac Efron.
Hilary Swank is setting up the festival, the ball drop.
Yeah, which I think
she hired Jensen to perform at.
And that is the next segment. The last segment is the Times Square segment with Hilary Swank and Ludacris.
Man, Ludacris, man.
Playing a cop.
Terribly.
He's just like, yeah, that's why I'm here.
That's the thing is there's so many people in this, and they're just so stiff. Like Ludacris is so stiff in this.
Well, it's like they don't really have any character growth to work on
ground them into reality.
It's like what is Ludacris's arc?
He also looked like a toddler in his dad's suit.
Yeah,
it looked like it didn't fit him. Right? It looked huge.
Yeah. It's like his whole is he's supposed to be spending New Year's with his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And then Hilary Swank gets them to come up and see, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, I got my kids now." There was almost like a point of sense of disappointment where he's like, "Ah, fuck, they're here."
I was trying to get with you. Well, I know I'm thinking about it. How many of these people have we actually done already? We did Hilary Swank. We haven't done De Niro.
No. Let's see. Yeah, we've done. Oh, and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Is this the second Sarah Jessica Parker, or is this the third?
Maybe the third? Family Stone.
She's not in The Holiday.
No.
No, maybe this is the one.
I think she was like a small character in something, I want to say, though.
Yeah, like a side character.
Yeah.
For a second.
Have we done Jessica Biel?
Not like what? No.
Josh Duhamel? Have we done Josh Duhamel?
No. Well, that was a fun game that when I was writing down the actors was to write down their name and the very first thing that pops into my head for them.
Yeah.
So I didn't even look at their list. I just went Jessica Biel. I wrote Blade 3. I was like, that's what I associate with.
Mine is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But yeah, it was a fun.
I mean, that would be a very long-winded game.
Which is like the first, because even with Halle Berry, I wrote down Swordfish because that was the first movie that I thought of.
That's fair.
Then I thought of
I think Gothica.
I think Catwoman, unfortunately. Sorry, Halle. Because that movie was a hot piece of garbage from what I remember.
So yeah, Times Square and...
De Niro, I wrote Taxi.
Nice.
I still haven't seen it, but I was like, oh, that's the first movie.
It's a great movie. You need to see that. You need to watch that movie.
I'm just never in the mindset. It's intense, right?
Yeah.
I'm just never in the mindset for it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to watch scary Robert De Niro.
It's not really scary, though. I mean, I don't consider it scary.
I know, but his character...
It's more of a journey into the psyche of a person losing their mind, turning into a serial killer.
Ooh.
No, you would really enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
You would very much enjoy it. But yeah, so those are the 8 segments, and I think we found a good way to map it all together. Yeah, because, Oh yeah, the conflict in the Times Square one with Hilary Swank, who we find out that Hilary Swank is actually Robert De Niro's daughter, and she shows up to actually take him up to the roof because he wants to watch the ball drop
one last time before he dies.
And they don't really show it, but they insinuate that he passed away.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, because
she's giving his
she has all of his like last stuff. You know, that got me.
Yeah,
it got me.
But then they followed up with a really wonderful moment with Alyssa Milano showing, she's like, "You want to see what we do here on New Year's to celebrate?" And then they go into the room with the babies. And it's like, oh, so now there's like celebration of life. You know, there's like the loss of rebirth. And, like the
rising of the phoenix.
The themes in this movie start to come clear in this. And this is also like after all of this, you get Josh Duhamel is waiting outside of the pizza joint that he went to the year before. You get his story that he met this girl and they had the most wonderful time. And when he went to the bathroom and he came back, he was just left with a note that said, "Things are complicated.
Meet me in a year.
Meet me in a year if you haven't da 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 da." And but you never really get from Sarah Jessica Parker that was her. It was just, it's supposed to be this like grandiose like reveal.
Yeah, like a twist.
You know, but it's like, oh, that's why she wanted to spend it not in, not in Manhattan or anything. She wanted to spend it at home with her daughter because that's what's the most important thing. But now that her daughter is like growing into a young woman, having her own life.
That's a weird point.
Yeah.
Like she said, meet me here, but she wasn't planning on it until the daughter decided, like, fuck you, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm a grown up. Huh?
It wasn't at that moment, but but yeah, she's letting her daughter actually spend the time with, be a kid with her friends, be a young
love.
Yeah. And so then it's like, oh, now she can go and like be with Josh Duhamel, and then they ride off in the carriage.
Yeah.
And also, where the fuck wouldn't she have time to change? Oh, that's not. She swung by like her office or something. Like, I just need to borrow something. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like the twist is that, oh, it's been Sarah Jessica Parker this entire time.
Yeah, because they're trying. Because there's a moment they're trying to make you try like guess who's the daughter.
Yeah.
And who's the that's like you're trying.
But it wasn't the daughter that I was trying to guess for Robert De Niro, because he starts talking about Annie. And Hilary Swank's character's name is Claire. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, no. Do I have that wrong? Is Halle Berry's character named Annie? Yeah. Oh,
Halle
Amy.
Berry is Amy.
Amy. Maybe it does say Claire, and I didn't pick that up because he starts bringing up a name when he's like kind of going into some dementia.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like, yeah.
And
she's like, oh no, it's me, Nurse Amy.
It's Nurse Amy.
I think what the thing is with this movie too. Is you're trying to like you were just saying, you're trying to figure out who's the mystery girl, and this goes back to the superficial thing. Any of them could have been the mystery girl.
Yeah,
you could have literally.
It could have been Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, it could have been Halle Berry. It could have been.
Yeah, which I thought of for a moment. Maybe it is Halle Berry when she comes out with it. See, I think that was on purpose as well. Is like we want to figure out like. That's one of the things that keeps you kind of maybe interested in the movie is like, who is this mystery girl for Josh Duhamel? Mm-hmm. It's definitely not Leah Michelle. Also, like Leah Michelle and Ashton Kutcher's like story arc finished pretty early on in the movie.
Yeah,
like when he ran up to give her back the bracelet. You came over here just to give me my bracelet. Oh, and then you left this in there too. Mwah.
She's in Glee, right?
Yeah, she was in Glee.
Apparently, she has a really amazing singing voice.
That was her singing voice. Were you just like, okay?
Yeah, I think I was pretty checked out at that point.
Okay. No, yeah, she's done a lot of Broadway, and she's like generally like she'll be like a first pick to cast in like Broadway stuff.
Is Glee still happening?
I don't think so. I think it was done after like season 5 or 6.
That had a long run. That was like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, because right,
and then a bunch of shit went down.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lightning in the bottle in the first 2 seasons, but then like once they started like trying to, because I watched Glee for like the first couple of seasons.
Oh, you did?
It kind of like
my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Glee is like literally my worst.
The theater kids and musical kids like wet dream.
Like when I go to hell, I'm gonna be in like a never-ending episode of Glee.
That'd be funny.
Why is everyone singing?
But yeah, their story arc kind of ended early. Some of them had to kind of. I don't know.
Well, it's like, what more can you put in that elevator thing?
Yeah.
without it just being like stupid, you know, like.
And then you just see her singing, and then Ashton Kutcher like, yeah, he's just cheering her on.
He's so goofy. I find Ashton Kutcher really goofy, but like in a good way.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, dude, he played Kelso. Come on, Kelso's one of the goofiest characters ever written. So that's 70 Show.
No. I know. I was trying to. What did I write down for Ashton Kutcher?
Oh,
Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, okay. When he was trying to get serious.
That movie's pretty fucking intense.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I like, and it's weird because he is so goofy and all this other stuff. It's like it's a weird.
Well, it was him trying to play against type. I feel like we're just spiraling around not talking about this movie anymore. Yeah.
I think we did it.
Yeah, it's comfort food. I mean, yeah. I mean, what's your rating for it?
I get 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 2, flat 2.
That was good. Well, because it's like that's the thing. It's not good. It's not bad. It is like, you know, if you're sitting there on the couch and you want to watch something holiday-y, it fits to that mold.
Yeah, it's true.
There's definitely worse holiday movies out there.
I find like some of the like Hilary Swank being in this movie feels very strange to me because I associate her with like so many more dramatic roles. Like I don't see her as like a very rom-com type person. I know that she's what is that P.S. I Love You, but that's not a rom-com. That's like a dramatic.
It's a dramedy rom-com.
It's still got some funny stuff into it, but like it's sort of like chasing the ghost of her dead husband, pretty much.
Yeah, like he left a bunch of letters, and it's just like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when you talked shit about that movie, and I was like, that movie's actually kind of sad. Like
I've never seen it. I'm talking about something I've never seen.
Yeah, but you were just like ripping it apart. I was like, oh, it's like actually kind of sweet and sad.
Yeah.
I think Robert De Niro is really rich. No, Robert De Niro seems to have a sense of humor about his career.
Part of me that was wondering, like thinking about like not only the casting, but like with so many big names, you would expect this to have probably like a huge budget.
It's only like $58 million.
Which then made me realize that a lot of these like stories and like parts can be filmed in like less than a week.
True.
Because like you're not spending money on Robert De Niro to be on set for 3 months.
And then since it's like a modern day movie, it's not like a fantasy where you have a lot of makeup.
It's like the budget probably went into the whole Times Square stuff.
Oh, that probably cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, I guess probably where the majority of like the budget went, and then possibly like the Hearn party too, like where there's like more like large amounts of people.
I just had this is a totally random thought, but I just had a flash of Tom Cruise running through Times Square in Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
Dude, how much do you think that cost to clear out Times Square?
A lot.
Like, Jesus. Like, and that he was running for a couple blocks too. Man, that's kind of crazy to think about. Like,
dude, New York's just kind of used to that happening occasionally.
Well, yeah, but also just like it feels like a hard thing to do. Like,
well, like, and it's when it comes down to things like that, they'll start. That's when they invite like everybody that lives. Like, hey, just come be an extra. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, and then it's like, oh, for the day we're just going to be doing this, and like businesses will stay open to feed people.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, yeah, because
2.5. Yeah,
for like 25, pretty big name. Because that's the thing about this movie. And that's was kind of what I was telling you with Amsterdam. Anytime they mentioned a new character, you're like, who did they get to play?
Oh yeah,
Betsy. You know, whoever. Because you're like, everyone is someone.
I still haven't sat through that. I heard it's actually it's gotten some weird mixed reviews.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the guy that fixed the ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't remember what his name is. I'm totally blanking.
In the movie or the actor's name?
The actor. He was the bodyguard in Princess Bride.
What?
Yeah.
He's the bodyguard in Princess Bride?
No, sorry, Princess Diaries. Sorry.
Oh, I don't think I've never seen Princess Diaries.
You haven't?
I
think you'd like it. It's cute.
Times.
It's are you seriously scrolling through all of them to find? It's like Victor something, right?
I don't know. Ikomsky. Hector Elizondo. Hector Elizondo.
That was close. Victor Hector.
Yeah, sure. But
yeah. So I'd say 2.5 because it's like I said, if you're looking for just like a easy digestible, if you like Love Actually and stuff like that, it's I mean, And that's just the thing, like we said in the very beginning, and I'm just going to kind of like bring it back around. These ensemble movies are always kind of weird. They're always weird. Even Valentine's Day is kind of weird.
And they like, well, it's same writer and director. You know?
It's just bizarre.
It's like, since you're getting like 10-minute segments, you're not going to really get anything fully like big, like fleshed out, you know, really heart-wrenching, or, you know, it's going to feel contrived. It's going to feel a little forced. It's going to feel cliched because it's so short, and it's just an idea that's being like presented. Like, you can't really get much originality out of it.
Well, and then to be with these kind of movies, since, you know, there is the like, we're having a baby. Oh, we're stuck in the elevator. You know, you're going to watch it and you're going to like segments more than others.
Yeah.
So it's a buffet. There's a little thing for everybody. Yeah,
exactly.
You know, like I really liked the Zac Efron Michelle Pfeiffer one. I thought that was cute. I thought the elevator one was terrible. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why it's like, it's like a 2.5, because
I strangely like the elevator one because I thought that Ashton Kutcher and Lea Michele actually had some decent chemistry.
And you like the curmudgeon redemption story.
I always do as well.
You like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me.
And I like it when they're still the asshole. Yeah. I don't like it when they do.
Also, I think Lea Michele's really attractive. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, I'm always happy to see her on screen.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. There's a lot of eye candy in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's good looking. You know, pretty much. Yeah. All the men are good looking. All the women are good looking. Like,
hey, it's New York. Everyone's good looking.
Yeah, everyone's a model. You know. Like, yeah. I mean, like, let's think about it. Ashton Kutcher, he's goofy, but Ashton Kutcher's a good looking guy.
He's a very handsome man.
Josh, whatever the butt.
Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, he's a good, you know, in a very standard white guy kind of way.
He's very classic.
Yeah, Jessica Biel, Halle Berry, these are all very attractive people that are in this movie. So, I mean, even Sarah Jessica Parker, she's an interesting looking, pretty. You know what I mean? She's like different.
No, exactly.
I'm
thinking of all the Family Guy jokes right now.
Oh. She's like very angular.
No, I think she's very, very pretty. Married to Matthew Broderick.
She has a very long head.
Yes. But anywho, I don't think we need to talk anymore.
No. Oh, we have no idea what we're doing next, do we?
We don't know what we're doing next by actual movie, but we can say what we're doing for our block.
Oh, is this the 2022 one?
Yeah. We're going to go through a list of movies 2022 and either do movies that, maybe a couple of movies we haven't seen that we wanted to see, or like there's a couple movies that I've seen that Tommy hasn't seen that I'd be like, hey, I think this would be a fun one to review, and vice versa.
Yeah, and we just always do older stuff. So we're like, well, since we're going to the new year, let's watch stuff that happened last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. So yeah, that would be fun. So,
and also in a fun way, we can lean into Oscar buzz if we want to as well.
True. We can. Yeah. All right. Well, so yeah, 2.5. I think it's a fine holiday movie. Check it out or don't. If you don't watch it, you're not missing out.
No. Yeah. Like, but honestly. I mean, it's easy to put on in the background and go and do something else.
Yeah, like if you're cleaning your apartment, throw it on. Who gives a shit? You're not missing anything. All right, cool. So thanks everybody. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. We have a link tree on there that will take you to all of our different podcasts.
All of our links,
platforms. Yeah, I guess that's everything. So this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Happy New Year!
It was weird saying that by myself.
I forgot to say it, didn't I?
Bye.
Bye, guys.